Hello everyone and welcome back to another massive chess game from 1989. In this chess game we have Judit Polgar with the white pieces and her opponent was Lars Hansen, who is Danish chess grandmaster and he was the 2 times chess champion of Denmark. A very strong chess player, but in this chess game actually Judit Polgar was only 13 years old. She was only a 13 years old teenager in 1989 and she was not competing in junior chess championships. She was basically competing against adults. What a legend. So in this chess game, Polgar's opponent Lars Hansen was already in his 20s in 1989. So let's see what happened in this very notable chess game. Judit Polgar starts the game with e4, we have e6, the French defense, and we have the Winawer variation of the French defense, developing the bishop to b4, e5, knight to e7, a3, asking a question, and usually black takes, so capturing back, b takes on c3, and damaging the pawn structure, but giving up the bishop, and also the g pawn is a weakness. So we have b6 and immediately targeting the weakness. So king over, defending the pawn. Pushing the pawn is also a possibility, but that is going to weaken the dark squares. And black can also castle, and in this particular case, black could have castled. And in this position, bishop to h6 seems like a dangerous move, threatening checkmate. But then black has knight to f5. Both defending the checkmate threat and attacking the bishop, and black is doing very well and white is just wasting time. After castling, it is needless to say this didn't happen, but bishop to d3 is a fine move and white is not losing. So the position is for about equal, but we have king to f8 defending with the king and losing the castling rights. Knight to f3, bishop to a6, bishop to d3, and then we have c5 charging at the center, d takes, bishop takes, and cementing the center. White castled, knight to d7, Polgar played a4 so she can place her bishop on a3 and targeting on c5. So we have knight to c6, attacking the e-pawn, bishop to a3 by Judit Polgar. Pinning the pawn is pinned. h6, c4, simply capturing the pawn, and then attacking the knight and the c-pawn is pinned. So black is defending the knight and Polgar is getting back the pawn. Check, moving the king, and rook over, placing the rook in the open file. So black is planning to castle manually. We have king to h7, rook to b7, infiltrating on the 7th file, on the 7th rank, and targeting on f7. So queen to f6, defending and developing the queen, capturing the pawn, and then queen to g4 by Judit Polgar. So in this position, not just Judit Polgar is developing the queen and aiming on d7, and she's also actually planning to support the bishop with pushing the pawn, so she's supporting on d4. Rook over, defending on d7, h3, king goes back, and then d4, supporting the bishop, rook over, and queen to h5, targeting the d-pawn and also the f-pawn. So in this position, if knight takes, then bishop takes, queen takes, and then landing on f7 is a possibility, and also targeting the d-pawn, so defending with the rook. In this position, if knight takes on d4, then bishop takes, and queen takes on f7. And this looks very dangerous actually for black. So we have rook over and then rook to d1, defending the d-pawn, rook to e4, adding one more attacker, and rook to d3 by Judit Polgar. Not wasting any time with trying to defend. Well, basically she is lifting the rook up and she is going to swing the rook on f3, and you can see that after attacking the queen she is targeting on f7 for 3 times. So we have rook to e1 check, king to h2, and then queen takes on f2. This looks dangerous, but we have rook to f3 by Judit Polgar. Black has check, but after king to g3, there is no more checks. And basically white is threatening checkmate, queen takes on f7, king over, and then queen takes on g7. So black played the only prophylactic move, only defensive move, g6. Queen takes on h6. If in this position something like rook to e2, attacking on g2, well, this would be a blunder because of queen takes on f7 and then getting checkmated. So g6, queen takes on h6, rook to e2, attacking on g2, and Judit Polgar played a very important move. Well, she played king to h4, and did you see the idea of king to h4? And in this position, unfortunately, black didn't see the idea, and he made a very bad mistake. Actually, it was a blunder. He played queen takes on g2. In this position, the better move was queen to e1, and after pushing the pawn, checking the king, rook to f4, knight to e7, and the game is getting a little bit more complicated, and the computer engine says black is completely fine and black is even slightly better in this position. But after rook to e2, we have king to h4 by Judit Polgar, a very sneaky threat, but unfortunately Lars Hansen didn't solve the threat, and he played queen takes on g2. It seems like a very tempting move because this is attacking the rook. The king is at the edge of the board, doesn't look very safe, but actually Judit Polgar is using her king as a very important attacking unit. Can you see what was the threat of white? What did black miss in this position? What would you do if you had the white pieces? Well, basically Judit Polgar played a move and her opponent resigned instantly. So the move was queen to g7 double exclamation point. What a beautiful move by Judit Polgar, sacrificing the queen, and after this move Lars Hansen resigned. Because of this only possible continuation, capturing the queen, rook takes on f7, only move, actually one of the only moves. If king goes down, then rook to h7, getting checkmated. The king is covering the escape square. So you know the idea of Judit Polgar much better if you haven't seen the purpose of king to h4. So after king to h4, she is planning to sacrifice the queen. So queen takes on g2 was a mistake. Checking the king was the only move which was not losing. But it was easy to miss. So after queen to g7, what happens if moving to the king to h8, moving up, then rook to h7 and getting checkmated like this. And if king to g8, then still we have checkmate, and please note that the bishop is also covering the escape square. So okay, what do you think about this amazing chess game by Judit Polgar from 1989 when she was only a 13 years old teenager? So amazing, simply amazing, and a legendary chess player, of course. So I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. Take care and bye bye.